The former face of the nation now facing cancer. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with former President Joe Biden's prostate cancer diagnosis.
We heard from local doctors and a survivor who's been through it.
But first, what Biden is saying today.
The former president writing, quote, "Cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support."
According to NBC News, Biden sought care after experiencing urinary symptoms. He was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to the bone. In a statement from Biden's office, it says the cancer is hormone sensitive and can be managed. Biden and his family are now reviewing treatment options with his doctors.
On your screen now is the former president during one of his many trips to the coast. The Delaware native is the most prominent person battling this terrible disease right now, but certainly not the only one. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is in the newsroom. Emma, you spoke with a doctor who has seen cases just like Biden's.
Maddie, Chesapeake urology doctor Mark Edney tells me prostate cancer doesn't typically cause symptoms early on. He says he's seen similar cases that have gone a variety of ways. And even with this category, Edney says he's seen many patients do very well for many years given appropriate treatment. Even for former presidents, things can change fast, from easing into retirement to the announcement of an aggressive prostate cancer diagnosis. Dr. Mark Edney of Chesapeake Urology says it's the most common kind of cancer men will get with age.
You can see that it's an incredibly common diagnosis.
While Dr. Edney isn't the one treating former President Biden, he has seen what's been reported and knows just what that means.
And that scale runs from a low of 6 to a high of 10. And so you can see at a 9, President Biden is towards the top of that scale, just in terms of how the cells appear under the microscope.
Still, Edney says it's too early for any concrete predictions.
I've seen in my practice in 20 years, men with Gleason 9 spread to the bone have a fairly active course, a rapid course. I've also seen other men with Gleason 9, even metastatic, live several years with excellent response to treatment. We just don't know where he's going to fall on that spectrum.
Erica Narducci with Cancer Support Community Delaware says this can be very challenging not just for the patient, but their family as well.
The emotional journey is for the caregiver and the loved one as well as the person going through the cancer.
And for someone with a former president's stature, she hopes it can help spread awareness.
We also hope that they will speak out for better treatments for what they're receiving for their cancer. Also for screening, especially prostate cancer. It's very easy for men to be screened with a PSA blood test.
At 82 years old, the former president's health has been its own story for years. But now as he battles cancer, the hope from his many supporters is that he can push through and maybe even build back better. Dr. Edney says he recommends that all men start to get screened between ages 45 and 50 and to make it a regular habit because you won't be able to rely on seeing symptoms. Back to you guys.
Emma, thank you. If you didn't know, our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, is a prostate cancer survivor himself. I sat down with Paul to discuss what the president will encounter and that President Biden's treatment will most likely be similar to Paul's. So, Paul, tell me your reaction when you heard that former President Biden had prostate cancer.
Devastatingly familiar. It's devastating in the sense of who wants to ever hear cancer? And especially in that location in a man, which is already something that's kind of taboo in the first place.
Is the president's proposed treatment plan similar to what you went through?
Yes. Yes, it is. Because they're dealing with hormone therapy, once again, because prostate cancer thrives on testosterone, but also I had radiational treatments. And since his prostate cancer has gotten out of the prostate, it makes no sense for them to do surgery, especially in a man his age. Okay, so, because you would die from the surgery alone.
So what is he looking at going through?
He's going to look forward to going through menopause like I did. Night sweat, maybe a little bit of weight gain, I think that he could possibly be dealing with some depression occasionally because that comes with the ups and downs of the hormone therapy, making it a bit of an imbalance that you're accustomed to. One of the things that I had that really bothered me was that there was just a great deal of soreness that I had to deal with. He's looking at a workable lifestyle still. And he's looking at longevity still, believe it or not, with the hormone. But he's just looking at being very mindful of his moods, being very mindful of his muscle, being very mindful of what he eats.
Why have you made it your mission to basically be an advocate for prostate cancer awareness and research?
Honestly, because it scared the hell out of me. Because it scared the hell out of me. I dealt with heart attacks, and I could deal with the heart attack problems I was having easier than cancer, because, see, with the heart attack, I could at least feel it coming. And Maddie, there was more than one night where I literally was crushed under the fear of dying, and dying a horrible, miserable death. From my point of view, a little bit earlier than expected. So I have to make sure that I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm already talking to my 11-year-old and 10-year-old grandson about it right now.
What do you want our viewers to take away from this conversation we're having?
We as men just have this mentality that I'll put a little dirt on it and I'll be fine, you know. Prostate cancer is so preventable if you just don't cower against the examination. And even if the digital rectal exam is something that makes you too uncomfortable, go get a PSA blood test. Get a pre-screening. As scary as it may seem, you'd rather know early what's happening, because then you can jump on it and stop it from stopping you. Because if you wait, if you try to put this into a closet and lock it up and think that if I don't acknowledge it, it won't bother me, quite the opposite. If you don't acknowledge it, it will kill you. Had I not been diagnosed by accident, I would not be here in 2025. That's without a doubt.
I have known Paul before he had cancer, during his treatment, and after. And really, until today, I actually had no idea how scary it was for him. If there is one positive in this situation, it's that we can shine a light on a disease that definitely needs more attention.
All of us are so happy that Paul is on the mend, and it brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how often do you get those screenings, the ones Paul talks about right in that story?
Let's take a look at the results from the last news hour. 86% still say every year, though every few years only when sick and never screened. Those numbers are fluctuating ever so slightly.
If you haven't voted yet, you can go do that. Go to coasttv.com or use our Coast TV mobile app. We will show updated results on tonight's Coast TV News at 11.
For more on all of this, we have in-depth articles on coasttv.com. Now let's turn it over to the man that you just heard from in a different capacity, Paul Williams, taking a live look into Ocean City. And Paul, you really have made this your life work. And you said there's something interesting about you and the president's cancer.
Yeah, because actually I was diagnosed with a Gleason 9, stage 4 as well. So I am living proof that you can have a positive result from that treatment. You can still live a positive lifestyle, but you have to be intentional with living. But you know what? We should all be a little more intentional from day to day, right? Shouldn't have to make cancer make us think about being appreciative every day we have. That's what my grandmama would say.